I started at school and I learnt French, and then I learnt Latin and Greek, and then I became a bit interested and learnt a bit of modern Greek and Italian, but my modern Greek has all gone away pretty much. And then after I left university, I started to study Chinese, and I speak Chinese, and I can read a little bit of Japanese. I wasn't interested in languages at school. We had to learn French, and French was the one subject I really hated. I thought it was active boredom. In other classes, you could just sit and listen. But in French, you had to say things, and it was all this stupid stuff about people going on holidays, and they were called Marie-France and Jean-Claude, and they bought railway tickets, and it was incredibly boring, and I didn't want to go to France or buy railway tickets. But when I studied Greek and Latin, we got to read beautiful Greek and Latin literature, and I really enjoyed it, and I got really into that. And also you didn't have to speak it, and I was very shy at that point, and didn't like to speak a foreign language at all. I found it very embarrassing. So I learned Greek and Latin, and I studied Greek and Latin at university, ancient Greek and Latin, which you never have to speak. And then one year I went to Greece, and I was staying with a family, and their next door neighbour offered to teach me modern Greek, so I could read ancient Greek, but I couldn't speak modern Greek, and I'd never really spoken a foreign language except in my French GCSE oral, no, O-level oral at that stage. And she was the most amazing lady. I thought she was so exciting. She was mostly in a darkened room, and she smoked a pipe, and she was very left-wing and very romantic. And she taught me, I longed to be able to talk to her, and she didn't speak a word of English. So we had to speak in Greek, and I learnt to speak Greek, and she was a good teacher, and she taught me wonderful Greek poetry, and I loved doing that. So then I became much more positive about actually wanting to talk to people in languages, and realised it wasn't just a strange code for doing exams, but a way of talking to people who were really different and exciting. And after I finished studying classics, I went on and I thought that I didn't want to become an academic, and I thought I would go into business, and I thought I would learn Chinese, and that would be useful. And anyway, I ended up as an academic after all, and I was always really interested in history, and especially the kinds of lives people lived in the past. Not history as dates and battles and wars, but history as what was really going on in everyday people's lives in the past. And I ended up writing a PhD about that and going on to study that with Chinese. And I went first to America and then to China to learn Chinese. Well, you simply cannot understand China if you do not speak Chinese. It's just hopeless. Unless you can speak and read Chinese, you really, really can't get. This is a huge and important culture. It's really, really different from ours. There is no way that you can learn about it in any serious way, or do business there, or have really any serious contact without being able to understand people. So it gets you into a completely different and very fascinating world. When I taught at Leeds, the students, we had about 50 students each year who came to study Chinese, and some of them were interested at the beginning, and some of them were only a bit interested, and learning Chinese is very hard work. But then the second year they went to China, and when they came back they were always interested, because that is such an extraordinary place to live for a whole year that you can't help being interested. And even if you didn't like it, you're going to be interested in why it's like that and why it's so different from us. So after that, all of them actually worked pretty hard, which was really pretty amazing. Chinese people always ask that. I wrote a long book about, and I think if you study a lot about Chinese, the big Chinese moral value is filial piety, to love your parents and to look after your parents. And if you spend a lot of time with people who think that this is really the most important thing, I do think it makes you think that you should try harder to be good to your parents.